Race 2 from Laguna Seca about to get underway, the first of the reverse grid of races. And in third place, Matt Murphy there in the number 12 car, and immediately Hensing is alongside him as the lights go out. So a change for the lead in the opening meters of the race, side by side as they come through that first left-hander, but it's going to be Hensing who leads them away. Bollard's flying left, right and centre as they come through there, but into the Andretti hairpin. Looks like it's all clean so far. Matt Trumpets going around the outside there of Martin Clapper's Clapham, but loses out there actually on the exit of the corner. So all very well behaved in the opening few corners so far, Chris.
Yeah, there's a whole gaggle of them we're not used to with watching Formula One. Oh, as you say that, Chris, there's a spinner at turn 4. And I think that might actually be Michael Weddle, I think.
Yeah, I can just see some dust in the back of the shot there. Round goes P2, Joe McClintock. Our pole man has gone spinning down at turn 5. Looked like he was lining up a move on Hensing for the lead. So Hensing with a massive lead as it stands. It's Carsten Lemch who is now in second place in that number 14 white Mist Apex liveried car. And then it's Richard Molden, one of the guys who is absolutely essential into setting up these races, ahead of Edward Shelley. Next in the line in the number 1. Sponsored by Pop-Tarts, he is in that one. And then it is Sam Watley as well, and Watley coming under pressure from Gregory Leader. Up the inside he goes into the final corner. Through goes the number 7 car as well. So 2 places lost there to Leader and Michael Weddle. Weddle's not finished though, he's going past Leader as well down the pit straight. And he's still not done. Going through on Molden as well on the way into the Andretti hairpin. So 3 corners, 3 places made up in about 2 corners there for Michael Weddle. Brilliant bit of action there as Gregory Leader also makes his way past Richard Molden. Looks like Sam Watley is about to do the same as well as they come through turn 3.
Absolutely, there's a terrible couple of corners for him. There's got passed by 3 cars along that straight into the Andretti hairpin.
So maybe Matt Trumpets was caught up in that action down at turn 4 on the opening lap, because he's fallen down the order as well. He is currently looking at the back of Carl Power's car. We'll see. Spanners has moved up to 13th place, but he is right in there with... actually, no, he's the one ahead of Trumpets. So Trumpets and Spanners are line astern at the moment and heading up towards the corkscrew. And I think it's Stuart Elder that Spanners is about to put a move on. Indeed he has, on the way into the corkscrew. Nicely done. And now he's got John Lang for company. Carsten Lemch, by the way, it looks like he's closing in on the leader. It was 1 second at the start of lap 2. It's much less than that now. Meanwhile, this battle for 3rd place is really hotting up. And off goes the number 1 car, Edward Shelley, who was in 3rd place. Looks like he's been punted into the final corner there. So with that, it's now Michael Weddle who leads this battle for P3 ahead of Gregory Leader and Sam Watley. With Sam Harper also not far behind them as well, a couple of seconds back, but that will close up surely. So lead battle is only separated by 3/10 between Hensing and Lemch, and Weddle, Leader and Watley, only 8/10 between them in the battle for 3rd. Apologies to the live stream viewers. Usually we are able to select the drivers that we want to see, but it looks like the system is having a little bit of trouble at the moment. So we will try and call this race as best we can and describe to you what's happening in case you're not seeing it on screen. We are currently watching the battle for 3rd place, and we can also see the lead battle closing up as well. Carsten Lemch has got a wonderful run on Henk Hensing and had a look towards the inside, and Hensing feels like he's got to go way wide, and Lemch has slowed up massively, and through goes Weddle into P2. Really opportunistic stuff there on the way into the penultimate couple of corners now. Leader is going to try and follow through as well. Weddle actually might be about to make a move for the lead. Top 4 line astern, down the inside goes Leader on Lench, and side by side for the lead. Ensing did not have a good run out of that final corner, and Weddell is into the lead by the time they cross the stripe to start lap 4.
Ensing missed his braking point into the final corner, put him onto the marbles and then onto the apron on the outside, and that got him a very poor exit, just as Carsten Lench is going up the inside of... Oh, leader's got him back again, though. That was good moves from him. And then Watley is also joining in this battle.
Yeah, look at this. They've just got 5 cars now battling over second place. So it's Ensing who still holds it, but leader is going to be trying to find our way through very quickly indeed. And Carsten Lench all over that as well. Pretty much the meat in the sandwich on this one, especially with Sam Harper now in it. And up the inside goes leader. Ensing goes wide and loses 2 places. Is it about to be 3? Here comes Sam Harper, about to take 2 in one straight. He's past his namesake, Sam Watley, and up on the inside of turn 6 on Ensing. He's up 2 spots.
Yeah, Watley got boxed out there, but he's got his revenge is up on the inside of Ensing now.
Yep, loses the place and is about to take another one on the way into the corkscrew, and nicely done. So now we've got leader and Lench, a bit of a gap forming up between them now. Sam Harper has moved up as well into 4th place now. Yep, just ahead of Sam Watley in 5th. Ensing still holding on, but Ian Erasmus behind them has got John Lang for company as well, so they've really caught up. This whole field is just bunching up now, and any one of them could be in 2nd place really by the time we get to the checkered flag.
That's it, and so we've got John Lang, who was in that top battle. He's really carving through the field. He's done incredibly well, up to P7 now. But Michael Weddell in the lead. He came up from grid 29 up to the lead of the race in a couple of laps.
Yeah, John Lang 31st on the grid, and now running in 6th, I believe, as he's just got past Ensing at the Andretti hairpin, and Ensing almost getting a bit of a shove there from Ian Erasmus. Again, loads more cars for company as well. Tim Ellis in the all-green number 2 car. David Hatton and Steve Ficacci, our championship leaders, are coming through this battle as well now, having started down at the back of the grid. There's Erasmus up the inside, and Hatton trying to make a move on Ellis as well, and he's going to pick up 2 places as well. Ficacci trying to follow him through as well. 4, 5 cars in an absolute gaggle heading towards turn 6. Hatton makes up 2 places, didn't feel like making a 3rd up at turn 6.
Yeah, they gave Ensing a bit of a love tap on the way past, just to say hi, I'm here, and off I go.
Hatton thinking about another move on the inside of the corkscrew, side by side, but didn't look like he's pulling off. Actually, still wheel to wheel, and Ficacci looks like he's going to try and take advantage of that as well. Erasmus loses 2 places there to our championship leaders. So they're both still heading up the order. There is just 10 seconds covering the top 12 last time around, and in that 12th spot is Bradley Philpott from the pit lane. So he is definitely making up places, and we're starting to see what he can do after that technical error he had in race 1 that forced him to drop out after only 3 corners.
Inca.
We can go to Spanners now. How are you getting on, Spanners?
Oh, well, I'm in the pit lane, and I've got a lovely view of all the cars flown by.
What happened to you?
Well, I braked a bit late into one corner, and the people I was battling with avoided it, but then I got collected, put me down to about 25th, and then overtaking Mr. Cox, and then he just punted into the back of me, unfortunately. The thing is, in the corkscrew, everyone's got a different braking point, which is causing a lot of problems.
So we can summarise that with ambition outweighing talent then, Spanners.
From me, maybe.
He got it in, he said it.
It's so gutting though, you spend so long practicing, and then, and you feel so robbed, you can see why the real drivers out on the pit radio sound so frustrated.
John Lang is the man on the move at the moment, has just picked up Sam Watley. And I believe that was Carsten Lench. Actually, no, it's getting around the lap traffic with Clappers up in there. Thought he was mounting an attack on 3rd place. but actually he's going to have to be looking at his mirrors to defend 4th. John Lang absolutely flying from 31st on the grid, and only 5 seconds off the lead, although we're coming into the last 3 laps, so a podium is not out of the question, although a win might well be. Although if Gregory Leader can close in and start squabbling with Michael Weddle, those two could start to hold each other up, and they're only separated by 3/4 of a second at the moment. Sam Harper currently in 3rd place. Lemch still ahead of Lang for the time being, so we'll stick with Lang for as long as we can.
And just behind Lang, we've got Watley, but behind him, you've got Hatton and Ficacci still battling. They are absolutely glued together, and Philpott is just dragging himself into that battle as well. This could get very tasty in the last few laps of this race.
Lang pounces and makes his move on Lemch on the run out of turn 4 into 5. Looks like he's got quite a fair bit of front bodywork damage, and so maybe he's not going to be able to get through this field quite as quickly as he normally would, because that is most likely going to be compromising him. But yeah, absolutely right. Just behind this, the championship battle taking place, and actually they're side by side going into the corkscrew. Ficacci going around the outside of his title rival, but Hatton holds on.
Yeah, be very brave if you make it around the outside of the corkscrew, never mind the inside. But yeah, they've gone back into line again, and this is all getting very, very close.
Yeah, there was one brave man I saw going around the outside of the corkscrew in a V8 supercar race I commented on. It was one of my first ever commentary gigs, and I'll try and remember his name at some point, because brave was indeed the word of the day for that one. So penultimate lap of the race underway, just 0.6 of a second between the leaders now, but it is still Michael Weddle in that top spot in the number 7 car with Gregory Leader in the Castrol colours. Oh, bit of contact down at the Andretti hairpin, it looked like, and again, our championship leaders are side by side. Looks like that was Sam Watley who went round there, but it is Ficacci getting ahead of his title rival around the outside of turn 3, and he picks up, I think that is now 6th place. And closing right in this battle as well, Bradley Philpott, he's about to come in, say hello. And oh, says hello straight away up the inside of Hatton at turn 5. So from the pit lane, he's now brought himself right into contention with our championship leaders, who did also start at the back of the grid, it must be said. So it's not like they've had all the time in the world to just pull away and go. Hatton trying to fight back as they run up towards the corkscrew, but can't do anything with it on this occasion.
Hatton may also be carrying a little bit of front end damage, as he was the one who sent Watley into a spin at the first corner.
So that's unfortunate for Watley. John Lang, meanwhile, looks like he's about to put himself up into the podium placings despite that damage, although we can see Sam Harper also with some damage. They were wheel to wheel on the way into the final corner, and it is John Lang with the momentum as they come down the front straight, and it looks like this is going to be the change for 3rd place, even though it's Sam Harper covering that inside line. And we can see Ficacci trying to get around the outside of Lemch as well in the back of the shot, but John Lang going around the outside, couldn't make that one stick. So final lap of the race underway, and that gap between Leader and Weddle is still there. So it doesn't look like Leader's going to be able to mount the attack. Maybe all eyes are on 3rd place, see if John Lang can get onto the podium. And super close they are through turn 5.
He is absolutely pushing Harper around. This is going to be such a tight exit.
Steve Ficacci, meanwhile, just a little bit further back, is making his way past Carsten Lemch into 5th place. There, so putting a little bit more distance between him and Hatton. 2 cars between them now, but up at the front of the field, Michael Weddle, it looks like he is about to take his first victory of the season.
And Harper and Lang are trading paint through the corkscrew. Sorry, and Lang gets through. Harper push wide.
So final corner now for Michael Weddle and Gregory Leader, but it is going to be Michael Weddle in that number 7 car who takes the race to victory ahead of Gregory Leader. And that was quite the scrap here to pull up there. 29th to 1st, 18th to 2nd for Leader. And across the line as well comes John Lang, 31st on the grid up to the podium, just ahead of Sam Harper. And Steve Ficacci was not far behind them in the end. And he does indeed outscore David Hatton, who did manage to pick up a couple of places. So he doesn't lose out all that much to his title rival. Bit of damage limitation there, perhaps. Carsten Lench comes up behind them. Bradley Philpott from the pit lane up into 8th place. Ian Erasmus and Sam Watley, despite that spin on the penultimate lap, comes home in 10th place. So one more race still to come, and it's going to be another reverse grid race. So it looks like we'll be seeing Barry Kemp and Mark Greenhow on the front row for that one, but we're going to have a nice tasty scrap to come up for the final race of the evening.